to catch the trolley that would take her up to the Loyola College of Nursing, where she would be taught more of the things she had already learned from her father. The nuns at Loyola were dedicated nurses, and they knew what they were doing. Some were outstanding teachers, but others were simply mired in the medicine of the last century. Ruth was frustrated and bored, but Father paid her tuition, and what Father wanted, Father got. Ruth tugged at her school uniform, a white apron over a long white dress, which would never see a spot of blood. "What did they say, Grandpa?" He was frowning.
"John is enlisting. They've rushed his graduation at Harvard so he can go home and join the Royal Army Medical Corps."
"How can they rush graduation?" Ruth asked. "That seems silly. What if he misses a class in, say, diseases of the liver?" Grandpa folded the letter and looked up.
"I don't think he'll be treating diseases of the liver on the battlefield. Anyway, he's coming to Baltimore before he ships out."
"Here?" said Ruth in surprise. "But why?"
"For one thing,"
said Grandpa,
"I haven't seen him since he was 3 years old. For another, you two have a common interest."
"You mean medicine?" Ruth asked. "Oh, Grandpa, what could I possibly talk about with him? I'm not even a nurse yet, and he's a doctor." She spread her hands. "Should we discuss how to wrap a bandage?"
"As long as you discuss something."
He pushed the letter across the table to her and got up.
"You'll be showing him around town."
"Me?" said Ruth. "Why me?"
"Because your sister—"
Grandpa nodded at Elise, just clumping down the stairs in her nightgown and bathrobe.
"has dirty fingernails."
He started up the stairs.
"Good morning, my dear,"
he said.
"Do you know what time it is?"
"Uh-huh," Elise mumbled, as she slumped into her seat at the table. As Grandpa continued up the stairs, Ruth called after him, "But when is he coming?"
"His train arrives Saturday at noon,"
Grandpa shouted back.
"Find something nice to wear. You too, Elise."
Elise rubbed her eyes. "What's going on?" Ruth pushed the letter at her and got up to go. "Read it," she said. "You'll see." Ruth made her way down 33rd Street with her heavy book bag slung over one shoulder, heading for the trolley stop 4 blocks away on Charles. Summer classes were almost over, and as usual, the August air in Baltimore was impenetrably hot and almost unbreathable. It irritated Ruth to think that she would arrive at Loyola sweaty under her arms, her hair frizzed around her nurse's cap from the humidity. The nuns liked neatness, modest decorum, not perspiring young women who wished they were somewhere else. Elise, Ruth thought, as she waited for a break in the noisy traffic on Charles Street, could have driven her in the motor car, but no, she'd slept late. Her younger sister could do pretty much anything, it seemed, except behave like a girl. Elise, who had been able to take apart Grandpa's pocket watch and put it back together when she was 6 years old, was a useful mystery to both Father and Grandpa. She could fix the car, cheaper than the expensive mechanics. For some reason, Elise wasn't obliged to submit to the same expectations as Ruth. She could keep her nails short and dirty. Ruth wondered, as she had since she was a girl, if it was her younger sister's looks. She was a mirror image of their mother, who had died in childbirth with Elise. Did that make her special in Father's eyes? An iceman drove a sweating horse past her. The horse raised its tail, grunted, and dropped a pile of manure, rank in the heat, right in front of her, as though to augur the rest of her day. The iceman twisted in the cart to tip his hat.
"Sorry, sister."
Ruth let her breath out through her teeth. Maybe the truth of the matter was that she was the sorry sister. It was at this exact corner that her dreams of becoming a doctor, to follow in her father's footsteps, had been shot down. When she was 10 and the governess said she'd done well on her writing and math, she was allowed to start going along on Father's house calls and help in his office downstairs. Father had let her do simple things at first: mix plaster while he positioned a broken ankle, give medicine to children with the grip, but she watched everything he did and listened carefully.